Yo, 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 yo.
Yo, what up?
What's going on, Tomboy?
Not much. How about you?
Nothing much.
Yeah.
Not since last week, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing really to know about.
Pretty quiet week.
Yeah. I mean, made some sauce over the weekend.
Yeah.
That was sick.
Yeah. That's sweet.
Yeah. We have another fun guest on today.
Oh, yeah.
This is our old pal, Travis. Say hello.
Hello.
What's up, Travis?
What's going on, buddy?
Not too much. Still recovering from the trip. A little bit. Catching up.
Mm-hmm. It was so when I was talking about last week, being in Mexico,
Yes.
Travis was part of the trip with us.
Oh, nice.
Dope little spot. Like I said, we have like our own pool. The food's fucking delicious, right? Like
Did
Oh,
you have the hot dogs and
the
cart?
burrito.
The burrito cart?
I was just about to ask you the same thing.
So good.
Have you been thinking about that burrito?
Yeah.
So I,
It was so good. It was that chorizo that you can't find here as easily.
yeah,
It's like more
that,
oily
that
and like
red
super red.
chorizo, yeah. Because like ours is like brown here. When you get like breakfast anywhere, like brunch, you're like, yeah, I'll have the chorizo and eggs.
Yeah.
This is like sausage basically.
Yeah.
Brown.
It was so good though.
Oh, it's
my
incredible.
God. Yeah.
I'm still pissed that I wasn't able. We were gone too early
To get a to-go
to get
burrito.
a to-go burrito. Yeah, dude. Still so, man. So yeah, actually, speaking of, I mean, the last time I saw you was when we were parting ways because you had a separate flight.
Mm-hmm.
So we all were in the Cancun airport. We got some food, couple drinks, and then me, Jess, and another friend, we left probably about like an hour before you. Like I don't know what the time, like how much further you had to.
Well,
which
before
long you
my
had to
flight
wait.
got delayed. Yeah.
Well, I'm saying, but like you were set for about
Yeah.
an hour, right? So the three of us, like we take off, and poor Travis on his own in the airport.
And we'd been there for like 3.5 hours, something like
Yeah.
that already, because we got there super early. So you got to put that into the equation too.
Right.
That factors into so many things later. But yeah.
So yeah, we got brunch, we got beers, we were hanging out there, and just reading, playing games, dicking around on your phone until it was
Yeah.
time to go. Me, Jess, and our friend, we take off and leave poor Travis on his own. Travis, what happened after that?
Shit hit the fan. So I guess
Walk me
it's
through
weather
it.
related.
Walk us through it.
But I don't know for sure because I don't know where all my flights came from because my incoming flight came from Miami, just like where I was going to Miami. So
yours, because we did Cancun to Chicago and Chicago to Cleveland. So you were doing Cancun to Miami and Miami to Cleveland?
yeah,
Okay.
and on the way it was Cleveland to Charlotte, and so comparable trip. But I guess because of the weather, this is the only thing I can imagine that there must have been like a previous flight or two that got delayed and it just like dominoed down the line.
Mm-hmm.
So my flight ended up being, I just sat there for hours watching the thing. It just said delayed.
In
For some-
Cancun
Yeah,
still?
and for some reason Cancun they don't tell you where your gate's gonna be until like 20 minutes or something before you're supposed
Yeah.
to board. So
Yeah,
you're
that's
just
how
sitting
it
there
is too.
wondering like, well, I guess I'm just in limbo now.
Is it a big airport?
Well, we
it's
were just in the one
decent.
concourse, so I don't know what the
Yeah,
rest
it's
of it
not
looks like.
it's not huge, but like
so it's not like, okay, 20 minutes, and then you get to your gate if you need to.
you
if you're
can't
already
like
there.
once you
Yeah, it
once
was all
you
in
get
one
to-
area.
Okay,
yeah,
so it's not like, you have to hike it the whole fucking airport.
No.
no, like once you get through like the customs or whatever security and you walk through the duty free, you come out, you're basically like in like a food court of a mall,
Okay.
and then you
Yeah.
either make a right and there's a whole bunch of
Yeah.
what you call it's down this side, or you go left and there's more gates
Gotcha.
down that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not, it's like, think of this terminal kind of like Cleveland sized, nothing crazy.
Mhm.
It's not like Atlanta where you got to take like a train 3, miles
Yeah,
over and get on
yeah,
to another
exactly.
thing.
I imagine it wasn't that big, but yeah. But even
Yeah.
Cleveland, sometimes it's like, hey, they move gates. It's like, oh shit, I gotta run all the
To
way
the other
across the
side,
fucking-
yeah, fucking Home
So
Alone.
actually,
it.
this is smaller than Cleveland, I would think, because you do have that. You have the
Yeah.
the branching to where it goes on.
Yeah,
to
yeah,
all
yeah.
areas. Yeah. Ours was just for Americans, so it was all right there.
Gotcha.
So I just sat there for, I don't know, it had to be like 3-4 hours.
What time was it originally scheduled for? Because I think
I
I was gonna say because I think ours was for like 4:00.
like 4:50 was the board, and then I think like 5:30 was the depart.
Okay,
And it was
so
an
you
hour.
get to the gate.
It was an hour and some change late. So I'm just sitting there like, and I have a connecting flight. Sorry, I'm mixing up the two because now I had to do this twice. Foreshadowing. I had a connecting flight to Cleveland, and so I'm a little worried because the more delays there are, the more chances I'm going to miss that.
Yeah.
And my connecting flight was at like 8 or something. So there was only an hour and change between landing in Miami and getting on a flight to Cleveland.
Yeah.
You think that's enough time, but man, when they start backing those delays up, and then you have like landing, and then you got to get a gate, and then there's all the other stuff, and you got to find out where you're going. Like it starts to really tick, and that's what happened. My flight was an hour late, and then we landed, and we couldn't get a gate, so we just sat there for a half an hour on the tarmac, just waiting.
Dude.
I guess the delays stacked planes on each other, and so you're just sitting there waiting. And so I'm just watching the thing, like, oh my god, now there's like 15 minutes, now there's 10 minutes, like fuck.
Yeah, 'cause
All
there
right,
was a whole
well.
snowstorm from like Chicago all the way east.
Yeah.
So anything probably East Coast was like shot.
When,
Well, I mean, Cleveland's we get snow all the time.
I know,
so
but
do
yeah.
all these states.
And
I
it
think
wasn't
they'd
even
be
that
used to
big of a
it.
snow, but like
but we just happened to get 7 inches that day, though. It wasn't like the typical Cleveland's like, oh, we're going to get 15 inches and we get like an inch and a half. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like we actually got a full 7 inches or so.
Yeah.
somebody was satisfied.
So then you land in Miami, and because you're coming from out of country, you have to go through customs. And Miami being a big airport, learning this after the fact, you have to go through customs, and it's like completely across the airport. You have to get on a train, you go up a level, you got to walk for like 10 minutes. And then, I mean, going through customs was easy, thankfully, but then you have to go to security again, which means you got to take all your shit off, go through the thing, put it all back on, get on the thing and go all the way back to where you were because it puts you off in no man's land. And I was at the very far end. I was at the very last gate you could possibly be on to board,
Oh my god.
D1. So
Did
it's
you
like,
did
oh,
you
great.
did you like run it all, or you just?
No, because at that point it was already after my boarding time, and so I just figured like I'm gonna still go there just in case, but I'm not gonna hassle myself because there's like 30 gates I had to go.
Yeah.
It's a long way. I'm already figuring like I'm fucked. I've missed it. It's not going to be like a minute or two off. I'm going to be like there 10, 15 minutes after.
Yeah.
And I get to the gate and the door's closed and there's no gate agents around anywhere. But it doesn't say board. This is what I still don't quite understand. It didn't say boarded, but it did have the time on there and the time had passed. So I was like, okay, well, they must have left. There's no one around. Not even people standing, like fidgeting or anything, like they're ready to go. Like it had been delayed or anything. Just gone. And now I've never missed a flight, so I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah.
There's no one around to ask.
I never missed a flight either.
So I'm just looking around. There's no information desk. There's like no employees. What the fuck? Like what am I supposed to do? So I'm just wandering until I find some old lady pushing, one of those old wheelchair ladies that like helps push people around.
Oh yeah.
Not
yeah.
really essential, but might have some clue and had like an American Airlines shirt on. And she told me like the rebooking desk is over there, and I go to it, and there's got to be like 125 people.
Ugh.
It stretches through the maze of the line and then out into the concourse. And I'm like, dude, I'm not sitting in this. We've already been in the airport for like 4 hours plus my flight of an hour, and and it's late. I've missed my flight. Like I'm gonna be here until 2 a.m. Like the fuck this. So I called the number, which I would hesitant to do because that always sucks. That has never been a good experience.
Like the American Airlines number.
Yeah,
Okay.
the customer service. You always get either stuck in some sort of weird robotic queue. You don't know where to go, so you're just yelling into it, assistance, like an asshole.
I said customer
Yeah.
service. God damn it.
Because you're like, 9 menus.
Just your cable there.
There you go.
Okay, we're good.
9 menus down is what you want. But luckily, it actually kind of worked out. I got a dude right away. Unfortunately, he couldn't really help me much because I think everyone else had missed it too. There was another flight, a direct flight, that had just straight up been canceled earlier that day, like 4. So that one,
That was like a Miami to Cleveland also.
yeah, just
Okay.
straight. And it just not even like delayed. It was just screw you guys. So I think all those people got all the flights before I even had a chance to try and book. And that's why everything was full. So there was nothing back to Cleveland on Monday evening. There was
Oh
nothing.
yeah, that's also important. Let's also let everybody know that we were leaving on a Sunday.
Oh yeah, sorry, Sunday. There was nothing Sunday evening.
God damn that fucking cable. Okay. Yeah, so basically we were leaving from Mexico on a Sunday. Okay.
Yeah.
So go on.
So nothing Sunday night, which is not desirable, but it's like, okay, whatever. I did take Monday off, so I'd rather be at home catching up and stuff, but at least I'm not like really missing anything. My dogs are covered, so it's safe. So I have to, I get all that squared away. The guy hooks me up with a flight and he goes, well, this is the only one I can find, but call back tomorrow and we'll see if we can get you a better one. But just lock this one in because if you don't, you might be fucked even harder.
So what is this flight?
This new flight is Miami to Orlando, Orlando to Charlotte, Charlotte to Cleveland.
Ugh.
3. And
Why
so-
are you flying into 2 cities in the same state?
That's all there was. I don't
No,
know,
I'm
man.
just saying, like, why would they do that? Okay.
He even checked he said they have like an agreement with Delta and United that they can, when they're rebooking, they can
To
kind of
switch
use each
over.
other.
Yeah.
And he couldn't find anything on that either. And it's probably just because so much got fucked up that it was all full. He didn't say there were no flights. He's just
Wasn't
like,
that-
it's all full.
Wasn't that President's Day?
Monday was, yeah.
So that might have been why. That might have been with the holiday.
Well, also, I mean, that was
Well-
Valentine's weekend, so a lot of people had
True.
flown for that, and
That's
so
also
maybe they were all
true.
returning.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, it was just a clusterfuck of
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Poor decisions on dates planning.
So I locked all that in, and it wasn't even that wouldn't have been so bad because they're all short flights. You know, they're like little short hops. But the one between Orlando and Charlotte was like another 5 hours overlay. So between midnight and 5 a.m., you know, you're just in the airport hanging out by yourself.
Yeah. So did you take this one, or did they end up finding
Yeah.
you something else?
No,
So you took this.
I took it. Yeah, I thought about calling. I got a hotel, you know, the closest one I could. I'm not waiting in line for a voucher. I'm just like, dude, I'll just eat the cost because I'm pissed and I'm tired and I'm hungry. I just want to get out of the fucking airport.
Yeah. So you stayed in Miami that night, Sunday night. Okay.
Yeah, I stayed at a real close, kind of shitty hotel. It was the cheapest one. It's like, whatever, man. It's just
Yeah.
for one night. Potentially two if I have to leave on Tuesday.
So what time was your flight set for Monday?
It was supposed to be. I got there 4 hours early, so I think it was like 10. Yeah, it was like 10
10 a.m.
10 p.m. No,
10 p.m. Oh, yeah. So
the
you
next
had-
night. Yeah.
So you had all day Monday to kind of do whatever.
Yeah, but
And then-
but I can't go do very much because I have no transport. I'm not
Yeah.
near anything, so it's like it's fine. I'll just catch up on sleep. I'll watch some stuff. I'll get some snacks. Like I'll just kind of rest up for this big
Don't worry about
big
that.
fucking leg of whatever's coming next.
Yep.
So I get to
So-
the airport
Okay.
and
So
I get there early.
like 6 p.m. You said, about 4 hours early.
Yeah, I got there about 4 hours early.
Okay. And this is from Miami to Orlando.
Orlando.
Okay.
yeah.
Go on.
Because I don't know how long you're supposed to. It's an international airport. It's like I don't know what the security's like. I've never flown out of Miami before, out of all the airports I've been to. So it's like, well, all right, better be late. Better be safe than sorry. I'm already fucked on this. So I get there. Of course, you know, my boarding passes don't work. Why would they through the
Oh
app?
yeah.
They're
That is
just not.
something.
They're just not there at all. And I
That is
guess
something that he always deals with is that like we have, God damn it, sorry guys, I have to restart this fucking thing. I'm not gonna do it
Okay.
right now, but
Yeah.
remind me when we're done to fucking. It's asking for an update all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, Travis has the worst luck. Jesus Christ, knock it off. Has the worst luck on like we're like, oh yeah, here's our boarding passes on our phone, and then Travis goes to do it, and then it's like, no.
it's big red. The whole screen lights up red, and she's like, "No, what the fuck?
Does this even happen if like other people book for you?
It's just American. No, I booked myself.
Well, I'm
It's
just saying, like, if it's
American.
like a group thing, it's like, all right, we got 4 tickets, and the 4th one just does not work.
Well, we've done international trips. We do that,
Yeah.
but but this one, well, Jess and I booked ours. James booked his. This is the other person that went with us. Trevi had a little delay on booking his. This is why he was on a separate flight.
Yeah.
The three of us flew together back and forth.
Gotcha.
Trevi was a little delayed.
Yeah, I procrastinated a little bit.
So yeah, he gets
Yeah, on the way there it didn't work. On the way back it didn't either. And I'm guessing that's because they rebooked me, so I couldn't. So I go print them out. And when you go to listen, there's been some nice improvements. You don't have to wait for a person. You can use the little kiosk. You put your info in, it pulls it up. You print your boarding passes. It's actually kind of nice and smooth, way better than it used to be. Until it stops fucking working. You hit on the thing. I want boarding passes, and I want because you could check a bag or whatever. You don't have to print your boarding passes through it. And I want my pre-check number. It's its own little box. You click it, and then it tells you, "Is this you?" Click it. Yes. Where do I get? Nothing on my fucking boarding passes. How does this not work? It doesn't work through the app. It doesn't work through their machine. Like, there's nothing I can do. And I asked the guy when I was on the phone with him, I was like, hey, man, can I just ask you a side question? Like, how come my pre-check never ends up on my ticket? It's in my profile on American, so when I book, it should be there. When I print them out, it's not there. And he blames, like, TSA or I put it in wrong or something. Like, no, dude, it works everywhere. It's only you people. You guys fucked something up.
Now, when you say you people, what do you mean by you people?
What do you mean, you people? It's American. American somehow has some fucking disconnect. I guess if I ever have time at an airport, I'm gonna have to go talk to a real person and try and figure it out. But I might not fly them again after this fiasco because it was just. So then there's that, right? So now you're expecting it to be on there. I go to the line and she waves me off like, "No, you can't get in this." I'm like, God damn it. Luckily, I have Clear. I got it as a trial, and I forgot to cancel it. So I had that as my option. Otherwise, I would wait in this crazy line. So I got through and I waited and it was fine. But then that flight got delayed by did that one get delayed? I can't even remember now. They're all
when
blending
you
together.
delayed, so like, so you got the
Yeah, that one got delayed several times.
Miami
actually.
to Orlando.
Yeah, that got delayed an hour and a half as well, and they flipped my gate 3 times, so I had to go back and
Oh my
forth
God.
across the airport from one end to the other 3 times.
I've just got to run a car at this fucking point.
So now I know Miami Airport great. I know how to use the trains to get around. Like I really had a lot of exploration time.
So you were supposed to leave at like, or at least board by like 10 p.m. ish, right? Oh my God, I gotta fucking snooze this.
Yeah, like 10:30, something like that. And I think we boarded at like 11:30, something like that.
Okay.
Closer to 12, which is fine because I have that whole 5-hour gap in between, so I'm not worried about that one. You know, all that does is just eat up time. It's no big deal. But you know, it's not a good sign of things to come if we're already having delays and it's my first flight of 3. I got 2 more chances to get fucked here.
Yeah.
I get to the airport, the Orlando
Hopefully
airport.
they let you have the lube in your carry-on.
Oh yeah,
You get it? Because he's getting
Yeah.
fucked.
Yeah.
You guys get it?
the
do, you,
bell.
do you get it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Explain the joke. It's way funnier.
All right, so go on. So
got to
yeah,
Orlando. That eventually got there.
You got to
fine.
Orlando.
Middle of the night, so I'm just sitting in the terminal, and all there's the dudes walking around vacuuming. I'm the only one there. I went directly to my gate because I knew what it was for once, and I just sat there and just like read and watched movies and stuff.
How
for a
long
while.
were you sitting in Orlando before?
4 hours.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Holy
4 hours.
fuck. Okay.
And then that one took off on time, which is great. All right, finally things are starting to work out because again, I don't have much time between
Everything's set up
landing
Millhouse.
and having to go. It's supposed to land at like 6:45, and the next flight is supposed to take off at 7:40. So I have like an hour, and they board before that, and so if there's any delay, I'm fucked again. We get there, and I moved my seat closer to the door. I had to pay extra, but it's like I don't want to be stuck in the back
Yeah.
because these people. It's a whole nother thing.
Well, listen, we're gonna get to
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
We're gonna get to that. Let's talk about your trip, and then
Yeah.
I do want to discuss those people.
So we get there. I get up and I stand in the aisle right away. Now I know I don't ever do that because I know it's pointless. However, in this time, I need every second I can get. Like even 1 minute could be the difference between success and failure.
Sure.
We pull up and we're just standing there. They can't get the jetway lined up for 25 minutes. So I'm just looking at my clock and I'm losing my fucking mind because I can see my gate. It's 2 gates down. I can see my plane out the window. And we can't get off the plane because they can't line up the fucking jetway for 20
What
minutes.
the fuck? This is a new
Dude.
guy.
Yeah. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, let's go. Pop the slide.
Once
I'll
again,
take the
you're
slide
so close.
down.
It's like I'll just walk.
Roll up some stairs. I don't care. Just get me off this fucking plane.
Yeah. We actually, it's funny you say that because we did have that same thing, but it was only like a few minutes. I think it's when we landed in Chicago, we had that same situation. Oh, it was like they like either prematurely put that gate thing out or they didn't have it out in time. And we were like waiting on that before they can line the plane up.
Yeah.
So we did have to deal with that because we thought we were going to be late when we were in Chicago. We're like, we're not going to have time for fucking hot dogs. This is bullshit. But, we'll go from there. Go on.
Priorities.
Yeah.
Luckily, though, I mean, finally they got it. It wasn't really lined up. They just said, like, fuck it, we're not going to try anymore because they knew people had connecting flights. They said, just watch your step. So I get out, hustle down. It's boarding as I get to the plane. Got on, got home. Like,
So
what
that was
got home at 10 a.m. So I'd been up for 24 hours at that point.
10 a.m. on what day?
Tuesday
Tuesday.
morning. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Landed, got my car out of the parking, drove home, and then worked all day.
I would have just called
Because I don't want to lose another day over
Yeah,
some
that's true.
bullshit.
But
It's
you
like,
also work from home. So
Yeah.
at least you could be like, fuck it, I'm in PJs. And
Yeah.
if you need to slack off a little bit, if it's a slow day,
I played
you
a lot of
can.
hooky. I took a nap. Like I caught up
Yeah.
on some stuff, but I wasn't. I was already kind of out of it. So
I'm assuming you had just a carry-on for the whole thing, not like you had luggage somewhere else.
no.
No.
Okay, good. Because I was like, where is that luggage at the whole time?
No. There's
Yeah.
like Travis.
I
Like,
figured you was only like a weekend trip, right?
yeah, it was only like 4
4
days.
days,
Yeah.
So just a carry-on, fine.
Yeah, and Travis like one of our travel buddies. So like we've all got together plenty of times. Like I don't know how many trips ago, many trips ago, that we're like, let's not ever have something that has to be
Checked.
checked. Yeah.
If you can help it, yeah.
Yeah.
Just always have like a bag that's just big enough for carry on and not have to fucking dick around.
Especially if you have connecting flights, because I've
Yeah.
had bags lost a couple of times in the past. Where,
Yeah.
And then what do you do? Like, you're just in a place. I guess you can just buy some stuff that you need, but I mean, I'd rather not do that. Everything that I have is in there.
I have to do it every goddamn time. It's like immediately just like take me to Walmart because I gotta get all the shit that
You need a new bag.
they just threw everything out. Well, like all the toiletries and shit like that. Like some airports I get away with like everything, and then some like you can't take this, you can't take this. I'm like, I flew it here, it's fine.
So basically, so Jess has like a little bag that she takes on every trip, and it's like all the travel size stuff.
Yeah, I
so
do
it's
too.
like shampoo,
Yeah.
toothpaste. So if you have travel size things, and not, like,
Some of the stuff wasn't like in travel size. Or I
well,
couldn't find it.
that's where
why.
you fucked up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
But-
I had the same thing, but so I got little clear containers to put
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
in because I wasn't sure. Like, technically, this is a paste, but it's like if you throw it out, now I can't use it at all. What do I
Right.
do with it? So I just loaded it into little things so that there's absolutely no
Yeah.
concern whatsoever. Like, this is half of a shot glass. It's
Yeah.
not even close to the limit, regardless of whether you call it a liquid or not.
Yeah, like I said, sometimes I like lately I just been if I travel like that, I'll just like fuck it. I'm not even packing any of that shit. I'll just go to Walmart, buy like the cheap $1 version of it, and for the 4 days or whatever I'm there, and
Fair.
just throw it out
Well,
when I'm done.
I mean, you can always buy the shit there if you can't get something travel size.
Oh, that's what I did. But like
think
for a
that's what
while
he's saying.
there, like I said, some airports like Cleveland, I could take stuff out no problem.
Yeah.
But like I would travel to St. Louis a lot, and they were just like, nope,
That's dumb.
Yeah.
That's fucking dumb.
like hair gel when I had hair. You know,
Yeah.
this is how many years ago I tried.
Well, that's the thing. You can't predict. I mean, that's another topic for later, but these airports are all different.
Yeah.
So you don't know what's
Everybody
okay on
CSA.
one. When you go to one, it's fine. The other one's not.
And
This
I've been
guy's
there
an asshole, this
before.
guy's okay.
Yeah, I was there once, and it was the same thing. And go on through, and then this
Yeah.
time, nope. I'm like, all right, well, like,
Trevi,
do you want this? I'm like, well, what am I going to do with it? You're gonna take it away from me. Just throw it out.
yeah,
I don't care.
it's fine. Whatever. Yeah.
Enjoy the hair
At,
gel.
at that point, yeah, yeah. There was one trip, and was this Ireland,
Ireland,
that
yeah.
that you did have to check your bag? That they're like, nope, that's too big.
Yeah, I learned the hard way. Well, I asked the lady.
At
'cause
least it was a direct flight, though.
Yeah. Well, all I wanted to know was which, Cleveland's got is it 2 or 3 security gates? I think it's just 2 now. I think it might have been
I
3
think
at
it's
one
just
point. But,
two now.
so I was like, which one is the, because they're all at opposite ends, kind of. All I wanted to know is which one is closer to the terminal I need to go to. That way I don't end up, way off. I don't know. I should have just sucked it up. And she just went off on this tirade about how our app doesn't work. You have to print out your boarding passes. Like, we've been having problems. You guys didn't have any problems.
no.
Your bag's too big. And it's like, my bag is the same size as everyone else's. I use this on every plane I've ever been on. I used to travel for work. I've been all over. And she's like, no, you have to. She said, if you take it to the gate, they're going to make you do it too. So I'm just sitting there like, you fucking bitch. Fuck you.
And you get to the gate. So we
No,
never do that
no,
kind
No,
of
it would have been
no.
fine. They all walked just straight through.
Yeah,
Man, I gotta learn to just fucking
Yeah, that's-
shut my mouth.
That's where you fucked up. You don't go talk to that front desk lady. Just fucking mind your own business. Get your gate,
Yeah.
and just fucking, you're good to go.
I should have. I was trying to make things easier. Learn the hard way.
I will say though, what did piss me off is that when we were flying out to Mexico, we flew into Chicago, and then Jess and I were group 9, right? It's the last group to fucking get on, and they stop us like halfway through, and they're like, "We don't have any more room on the overhead, so we have to check all of your bags." I'm like, "Motherfucker! If these guys lose my bags, like I'm gonna be pissed, because like that suitcase has like my swim trunks and all my clothes and shit, right?"
And not
So-
as easy to get new stuff in Mexico as
No,
it
it's
is in the
not.
U.S.
Yeah,
because who
especially
knows what they've got
The
available down
islands
there.
that we're on, yeah. So
They don't have L Walmart.
no, El Walmartcito.
Yeah, Walmart.
No. So like, I was like, fuck, dude. If they lose this, I'm fucked. I mean, luckily it did work out. But the shitty thing is that once we got to our seats, like we were in like row like 25, there was right across from us. The overhead could fit probably 4 suitcases, and then the row up front of us can also fit 2 more. We're like, why did you guys do that?
Yeah.
Like, we would have been totally fucking fine.
Well, I mean, you don't want to be that guy that gets all the way down and you have to now back everyone up either. So it's like
Well,
it's a
that's why I
gamble.
gave
Which
it
one
up.
You, yeah, which one you do?
But they should be fucking. They're the ones that are on the plane, walking back and forth, going, "Hey, let me tell the person that's at the front of the plane,
Yeah.
we're out of room. Tell everybody, like, forward the word, right?" But like, there's plenty. Like, you could fit probably. I think we at least 6 suitcases just where we were sitting. So
When I traveled for work, we would just gate check, which was great. I think most of the time we were direct, so it's not as big of a deal. But you would just gate check it, and then they would put it back in the Skyway when you got off, and so you didn't have to go down. But you also didn't have to deal with. You didn't have to go to the baggage claim, but you also didn't have to deal with trying to shove it in the overhead. You just gave it to the people, and then they would unload it. It got its special tag, and they just put it right there. So when you got off, it was ready to go.
Oh yeah,
I thought that's what they were going to do for you, but they put yours. Just
I've had that
straight
happen
in
'cause I had like a duffel bag, and it's technically small enough to fit the overhead and everything, but they just didn't have enough space or whatever. So like, we're just gonna tag it. It's gonna sit right here at the end.
It's very
That's
convenient.
cool.
You don't
I'm
have
like,
to lug it down. You don't have to worry about
yeah.
where you're going to put it. It's just there waiting for you when you get off. It was very handy, but yeah, not every flight does that either. So
The only problem with it was like I forgot something in the bag. I'm like it's sitting right there, but I can't go grab it. What the fuck? I'm literally looking at it, but I can't go get it.
yeah.
I mean, they offered me the same thing. They were saying like, we'll check your bag for free, and I'm if I get stuck somewhere, now I'll have nothing.
Yeah.
I already had to wash
You don't know where the hell
my
it's-
boxers and my socks in the sink and dry them with a hairdryer because
the
I ran out
hotel?
of clean stuff. Yeah, I packed enough for the trip, not extra for like a day and a half.
You know what's funny is that our room, our Airbnb, has a washer and dryer. I don't think anybody used it this time. I mean, last time we were there for like 8 days, but nobody used the washer and dryer this time.
Didn't need. I brought enough to cover all the days, so I didn't need to.
because
I
like
just
we're only
wasn't
going to be there
anticipating.
for. It was a 4-day trip, but you got to take
Yeah.
travel into
Mhm.
consideration. So we only had like 2 full days and maybe like a half, really.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we really didn't need it.
Yeah, but I mean, we're in a tropical place, so I didn't bring extra socks because like I'm not gonna be wearing socks. I'm wearing sandals the whole time.
Right.
And I don't need extra pants or anything. It's just pretty much the bare minimum, so it fits in the smaller bag. Don't have to worry about it being too big or any of the other stuff. Just nice and easy. But yeah,
I want to get into a point here where was there any like shit fuck people you had to deal with, plane wise, waiting wise?
oh yeah,
Because like
you had some too. I mean,
yeah. So
we got to hear about yours as well.
yeah. So like when we were coming from Cancun to Chicago, Jess and I are like, again, we're group 9, and we're walking down the aisle, and our row's like 25, and there's an older lady and like a girl that's probably in her 20s or 30s sitting in the middle seat, and we get closer, and Jess turns around and goes, Isn't that our row? And I go, yeah, it is. So we get closer, and Jess goes, hey, so like this is our row, and the girl goes, both of you? And she's like, yeah.
No, just
And
one
she's
of
like,
us.
yeah. She's like, so the girl like is gathering now all of her things and walks right across the aisle to the row right across from it. But she's a middle seat, so now the guy that's sitting on the aisle seat has his thing down. He's got all the shit on there. So now he's got to take all the shit off, put the thing back up, let her squeeze through, get back in, and so we can get in. And we figure out it's like a mom and daughter situation. And then like once we're sitting down, the flight takes off, and like the daughter's like yelling like to the mom, like while we're in flight. We're like, what the fuck? And they're like yelling back and forth to each other because the mom is the window seat. Jess is in the middle. I'm in the aisle. So they're like yelling back and forth. They're like trying to like pass stuff back and forth. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, knock this shit off. And like, I'm sitting there and I have like a Steam Deck, right? And I'm sitting there like playing. And the guy that's in the aisle seat, I don't think he's with them, but I think he's also getting annoyed. The daughter had this giant pack of like, those cookies they kept giving us on the flight?
Like the shortbreads or whatever.
Yeah, she bought like a fucking like 12-pack of them that are all in this giant cellophane thing. Like it's like I don't know, like a couple bricks put together. It's like that big. Hands and starts leaning it over this guy. The guy grabs it and then just shoves it, covering my fucking game. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? And then like the mom's like, I don't want this. And Jess is like, here. And she's like, I don't want this. No, we're like, I was about ready to grab it and just fucking throw it,
Whip it.
down the aisle. I'm like, fuck you, dude. Like, fuck off. But like Jess started like snatching shit out of this lady's hand and they're like, could you fucking knock it off?
Did you ever think about doing the trade and taking the window and giving her the aisle just to save yourself the hassle? I wouldn't want to give in either, but
No, it crossed my mind, but I go, no, because if I have to get up and take a piss, like fuck that, fuck her.
yeah,
She's got the window seat, and then she's like, "Oh, sorry, we just couldn't find any seats together." And it's like, "Oh, you must have been like Travis and wait until the last minute. That's why you guys can get seats together." You know what Jess and I did? We got seats together. People on the plane are the fucking worst.
for the worst.
They just assume that like it's fine. We'll sit next to each other.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Yeah,
Don't move for us.
yeah. No,
Fly-
that's
flying
fucking
brings out the-
entitled people. Fuck them.
Everybody thinks they're entitled for it.
Flying is the worst of humanity.
Oh, yeah,
you'll
yeah.
see it all over the place when you're walking through the airport and there's like 5 people abreast.
Oh yeah.
What common sense do you have in your brain that says, let me just take up half or 3/4 of the way that everyone else has to go too? Because
Yeah.
I'm so fucking important. Get your fucking ass out of the way.
Yeah, don't pull out a train to like
People are
hey,
in a
everybody in
hurry.
the whole row is there. It's like, all right, well, now I can put my tray down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get out of the way. You see people running, you see people hurrying, like
It is the worst.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
Be considerate. If there's people that have connecting flights, especially, like, let them fucking go.
Yeah.
Like, your flight's not for like an hour or two. Like, you don't need to get off this fucking plane immediately. Like, sit the fuck down. Let all of the rows go in front of you, and anybody that has a connecting flight. Don't be a fucking dick, but no one gives a shit. They feel
No.
so fucking entitled.
Yeah. They announced that on my my flight to Miami on the way to Mexico. Was it? Yeah, I think it was. Yeah. No, sorry, Charlotte. They made an announcement that hey, there are some connecting flights that are coming up. If you could please be courteous and let those people go first. I wish they would do that more. Just they made an announcement like over the loudspeaker.
Yeah, if you have
So
a connecting flight, please stand up. Okay, cool.
but-
Now you guys get to go.
I'd
Yeah.
want that if I was trying to
But you know what,
hurry, and
somebody's
I don't
gonna-
have a problem if
the
I
prob-
got to wait 5 minutes.
The problem is somebody's going to take advantage of it and say, I have a connecting flight, and they don't.
So,
Yeah, you see
well,
them at the bar
that's what I was
later.
about to say is, like, how do you know? Like, they just say,
You
hey,
don't.
listen, if someone's got a connecting flight, like,
Yeah,
let
if
them-
the asshole from Titanic can jump in with
Yeah.
women and children to that guy.
Yeah, they're like, could you, thank you for flying American Airlines. If you have any connecting flights, everybody else, can you please be generous enough to let them off the plane first? Thank you for flying American Airlines.
right? But like, it's fucked. Like nobody does. Like they should at least like maybe the stewardess go, who on this plane has a connecting flight in like a half hour or less, right?
Yeah.
And then you raise your fucking hand. And you're not wrong. Tomboy's right. Like people are going to fucking take advantage of it. I mean,
A lot of people did stay seated though, so it did restore a little, faith in humanity that not everyone's a dickhead.
in
I'm
rows
sure
in front of you.
everywhere, yeah.
Okay.
Quite a few people stayed seated. I'm sure there was some guy that felt entitled and snuck out, but I'm hoping that will be a smaller number than the rest. Because if you just let everyone get up, it just clogs it, right? So at least, suppose the way to think about it is that if anyone stays seated, it's better than none. But it did seem to work, and if I was freaking out, I would be very grateful that I got to go out first. I actually thought about asking, but I didn't want to be that guy. Like, because I knew I had so little time on coming back between those two flights, I was going to ask the stewardess, like, hey, I've already missed one flight. I've been stuck in Miami for a day and a half, and I got this flight coming up, and we're already, it's potential I'm going to miss it. Is there any way that I can just get out before everybody? But I didn't. I just said, fuck it. I'm just going to wing it. I don't want to be that guy. It's too much effort. I don't want to draw attention, and then I'll just deal with it. If it doesn't work, if it didn't work, I'm just going to rent a car and drive back because it's 8 hours.
Yeah,
I've already
at least
lost
you're
the
not that-
day.
that far.
At least I'm under control now. I can drive back at my
Yeah.
own pace. I don't have to go because what they would do probably is throw me on another 3 layover fucking bullshit to try and get me back. They're not going to be a direct flight. So I figured
you-
at that point, I'm just going to suck it up. I'll drive. I'll stop somewhere and sleep in the car and then just get home when I'm comfortable.
Fair. Yeah.
At least it's, half the distance to Florida versus the
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, Miami's a little too far.
Yeah.
It's
Did
like
you-
a 24-hour straight drive.
Yeah.
Did you have any like shitty people you had to deal with?
Not super shitty, just super annoying. There was an African lady, and I mean like African. She's wearing like the full like garb, had the heavy accent, that was singing to herself loud enough that I could hear it. So
Well, so where was she sitting compared to where you were sitting?
she was sitting window, and I was sitting aisle. So she was
Same
one,
aisle?
yeah, same side. So she
Okay.
was one seat over, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? And she's just singing to herself, like
Like mid-flight?
Yeah.
Okay.
for most of the flight.
Oh, jeez.
This no one wants to hear that. Keep it yourself. It's an hour flight. You can't be quiet for 1 hour.
Yeah.
Like, you'll be fine.
Or like maybe pre-record your hummings, and then you can put your headphones in and then just listen to them. Yeah.
I didn't get the impression she was all that bright either, because when we got there and they had the jetway problem and they announced it several times, she either wasn't paying attention or just was too stupid to understand. And so then she had to ask people around us, what's going on? How come we can't get off the plane? And I'm not going to answer her because you have had more than enough chances to understand what was being said to you. So, fuck
she
you.
didn't like the answer, so she just kept asking people.
Yeah.
Well, here's why. Because some guy answered her and she goes, huh? Like, why'd you even ask if you weren't going to pay attention?
What?
Yeah.
So then he has to repeat himself. It's like, wait, this whole thing is ridiculous. Just keep your mouth shut. Let her wonder. She also tried to push me out of the way so she could get her thing down. And it's like, where am I going to go? There's no one in front of me. She kept shoving me. And I turned to her and I went, where do you want me to go? There's no one in front. There's no space.
Yeah.
The only reason I'm standing up is because I got somewhere I got to be.
You get your bag
And
when
she's
you get
trying
to
to
the
pull
aisle.
her thing down and it's bumping into me. And I'm like, I really wanted to just do one of those like, boom, push backwards and just push her back a bit. So at that point, I just had it. Like, that's it. Do not get in my way. I will run you over. Push your child.
It feels like a planes, trains, and automobile situation.
Oh,
where you
for sure.
Like, enough's enough, and like Travis is like, his rope's getting real fucking thin at this point.
I can't pull over anymore.
Yeah.
Pull over.
Tomboy, what about you? Shitty people you've had to deal with. Anything stick out?
Everybody.
Oh yeah, of course. But I'm saying, like, is there anything that like sticks out that like this one specific situation you had to deal with someone being a fucking cunt?
Not really. Not one situation. Well, I mean, there was one time years ago. I was like living in Tremont and went to Steelyard for Walmart to go grocery shopping or
We're
whatever.
doing this again.
And it was like midnight, right? Because I was working second shift at the time.
Oh god, dude, that's the Serengeti down there. It's wild animals.
It was
at midnight.
So
Oof.
it was a mom and like her 2 children, and the one kid just took off running. And basically, he came running around the one aisle into the aisle I was in, and he turned his head back, like looked towards, away from like his mom or whatever, and went smacking my leg. Like I'm sitting there just shopping, and all of a sudden, like what the fuck? This little kid just falls over, and then the mom comes over and she's like, "What the fuck did you do to my kid?" I'm like, "He ran into me because you're not being a good parent."
Yeah, same thing.
I just walked away.
Same thing I'm gonna do to you.
I'm like,
shut
I've
up.
been that kid before. It's okay. Like he's just being fun. He's just bored. Why are you having your kid out at midnight or 12:30? On like a Tuesday at Walmart.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck?
Unmanaged. Unmanaged.
Yeah. It is. It is. That is the sea of humanity of people that I just never want to deal with.
Well,
Yeah, you also keep choosing the worst Walmart.
Well, not
in
by
Cleveland.
choice. Sometimes.
Yeah,
It's
The last time was not by choice.
we also had to deal with when we were in this delay over in Chicago. Some guy like walked over, so we're like sitting in the seats like at the gate, like waiting, right? Because we kept getting delayed. It's like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour, hour and a half, and some guy just sits down on the floor, and like we're sitting like on like the edge seats, and this guy sits down right on the floor and starts blurring the fucking basketball game.
Oh god.
And we're like, are you fucking kidding me, dude? We're sitting there, we're like dicking around, we're gaming, reading, whatever, and this guy's like phone is full fucking blast.
I can't stand people like
and
that.
it's just the basketball game is just going, right? And you got the
Headphones
the
aren't that
announcer.
cheap.
Oh yeah. and this guy's just literally just sitting on the floor, and our buddy James goes, "Hey, my guy, can you turn that up a little bit?" And he's like, "I can't hear what's going on with the game." And he's like, "What?" He's like, "Can you turn it up a little bit?" He's like, "I can't hear what's going on with the game."
Hey, turn it down, asshole.
Yeah. And then
turn
the
it
guy,
up. Crank it up.
yeah. And then the guy goes, "Sorry," and then turns it down, and we're like, "Sweet."
Oh, he at least got the
No,
head.
yeah, he actually, he picked up on like, but dude, like, what the fuck? Like, I know you're in an airport, and it's not super busy because it's like 8:30 at night, and there's not a lot of people in
I've
there.
done that, but I just
still.
like turn it down low enough and then stick the phone next
That's
to my
what
ear.
I do too. If there's
If I
something
don't have
wanna do.
headphones on me for whatever reason.
Yeah, I mean, I have headphones, but I'm like, do I dig them out of my bag, or for this minute clip, do I just keep it low enough, stick it in my ear,
Yeah.
and I can hear what's going on? Like.
It's a self-entitlement. It's the same people that have full-on conversations on speakerphone in the grocery store.
Oh my god.
None of
yeah.
us care about your fucking bullshit.
Or they're like
Fuck off.
the older people that have to keep the phone away from their ear, but like
God.
close enough they can hear it, but they're like talking like the
Yeah.
But you could put like a whole fist between
Oh yeah.
where their phone is and where their head is. It's like
No.
I get it. Everybody poops with their phone. Like it's not sanitary really to stick it next to your ear, but whatever. We all have done
It's
it.
fine. Yeah. Yeah.
So
No,
it's just a lack of being self-aware and really understanding that people around you also care about stuff.
Oh god.
And
Yeah.
maybe I shouldn't bother everyone with my bullshit. I mean, and you can't just not do that for the next 20 minutes until you get home.
Yeah.
Is this entitlement? You think, or is this
Oh,
just, or just not just giving a fuck about your surroundings?
Yes.
Same thing.
Because
almost.
Yes.
Because like, yeah,
Both,
you're not wrong, but like there's
you're right.
but there's people that that are either FaceTiming or it's on speakerphone or they just have their music fucking blasting.
Oh
and you're
my
like,
God.
we don't want to hear your bullshit music.
If it's good music, I don't want to hear it.
Yeah. Like, I mean, it'd be different. I mean, okay.
Yeah,
So
I
this
guess
is-
if it's not like
this is a double-edged sword because if I'm walking somewhere and someone's blasting, let's say, fucking Rancid, right? I'd be like, let's go, dude. I'll be singing along, like, nice. But if there's like the fucking like mumble rap, I'm like,
Yeah.
turn that fucking shit off.
Well, these are the same people that if you said something to them, you would be the asshole.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's
oh, yeah.
why I think it's more of an
You're
entitlement
automatically the asshole.
Yeah.
than a I don't care. Because if they didn't care, they'd just be like, whatever, man. These are the kind of people that would be super offended at how dare you tell me what to do because I'm super special. But
Everybody thinks they're the main character in their own story,
Yeah.
and you're not.
No.
Nobody is.
No.
Yeah.
Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody wants to hear it, dude. It does. It pisses me off when people are on speakerphone and or FaceTime. I'm like, what the fuck? You're shopping right
Yeah.
now. How
Well,
you just be
what
like,
is
hey,
so important?
yeah. I'd be like, hey, listen, you're talking to him on the way to the store, right? And then you're like, hey, let me call you back in 20. I got to run in here and grab this. I've done that.
Or
And,
stick
like,
the phone next to your ear.
Yeah.
Not a big deal.
I
Yeah,
get
or
it
at
if
least
it's
have
like,
the
are we out of potatoes? You
Yeah.
don't have to do it on speaker. You look, it's a quick one, boom, done.
Yeah, I mean, actually,
Or text.
That's a great point. There has been times that I've like gone shopping and I'm like, fuck.
Nobody's
I don't-
answering text, so yeah.
Well, I go, fuck, I forgot to check to see if we have any of this. I call Jess. Hey, do we have this or do I need to pick it up? Nope, we have it. Cool, done.
Yeah.
That's literally like 15-second phone
Short,
call.
concise, at a low volume.
And I'm
you
in
can
my
step
own,
away
in my own
if you
section.
need to.
Yeah.
You're not loud. You're not yelling. You're not shouting. You're not drawing attention to yourself. You're not causing any problems.
I've had actually the opposite. I've had people roll their eyes at me because I'm wearing headphones. Like
Fuck
when I
'em.
go grocery shopping, I'm wearing headphones.
I'm doing this for you.
If I'm walking by myself somewhere, I'm 95% of the time wearing headphones.
Are you really?
Yeah. Like
Interesting.
I'm catching up a podcast or
Yeah.
like
whatever.
pizza bagels.
Yeah. Exactly.
I'm
Subscribe
my
today.
own podcast.
Yeah. That's entitlement.
I mean, what's wrong with that?
No, yeah.
You're
I,
preventing them from having to deal with bullshit.
yeah,
You're
I don't
also
really
not
want to
in-
hear your bullshit in the grocery store. But then they're like, if they want to talk to you, like it's like, all right. Like the other day, I was shoveling the driveway. Neighbor had to say something. I had the headphone like earbuds in and like hat over it, so I had to take the whole damn hat off and then the earbuds. I'm like, what did you say? What? I was like, oh, gee. Like it wasn't that important. Just leave it alone.
Yeah. Let me do
He's
my
like, are you
thing.
going to shovel the driveway or the sidewalk? Or am I going to do it? I'm like, now you're going to do that.
I was gonna do the driveway and then actually
off.
I feel like I have a poop coming on. So
Yeah, I gotta go.
So you're gonna do it.
Yeah.
What about here's one that really bothers me, and I like to call them ask holes. These are the friends that are like, man, I'm really going through these girl problems or these problems. Like, I need some advice from you.
Mhm.
And you spend an hour and you're giving them all this advice. Don't do this. You should do this. Don't do that. You should do that. And then they do the complete opposite of all the advice you give them.
Yeah, it's like, what's the point?
Yeah.
Don't ask me for advice.
How often do you guys have to deal with this?
I mean, I can say I've been guilty of that. I think you know that. I think you're aware.
Actually, yes, you're right.
I feel like this one might be targeted a little at me.
Actually, it wasn't until you just brought that up. But now that I'm thinking about it,
But I did
yeah.
keep, in my own personal experience, I did keep everything you said in mind. So it wasn't like I discounted it. But, with matters of the heart, sometimes there's wiggle room to where you
have to find out the hard way
don't,
sometimes.
Yeah, you don't always do the thing you should do because it's more complicated than if it was all about facts and like being analytical, you wouldn't be in that spot to begin with. So there's a different area to it, but I would like to think I'm not like a serial problem with that, where I do take those opinions and kind of keep that in the back of my head.
that's
It's like
yeah, you
make
don't-
sure, if you're going to do this, keep these things in mind, because there's lots of good tidbits in here that you should really be aware of.
Oh, that's why I always like when I give advice. Like I'm like, you don't have to take all of my advice, or you can take some of it, but just like at least keep it in the back of your head when I say.
And
something.
sometimes it's just, I mean, at least when it comes to like relationshipy stuff, it's just
yeah.
about like talking it through and just having someone listen. You vomit out all your bullshit feelings.
Oh, for sure.
And whether you take advice or not, that's really the more helpful thing. But if it's like more like analytical things, like what should I do about this legal issue or something, right? Where you can take emotion out of it, then that would be super annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, if
Where
you're
it's
asking
like,
for
Well,
professional
that's
opinion,
different.
something
It's a
like that.
different
How do I
animal,
fix
but yeah.
this? Like, I just gave you all 4 steps. You didn't do any of them, and it broke. Well, you should have listened, because there's no real interpretation. This is the way, kind of thing.
Yeah.
That would be annoying.
Sure. No, that makes sense.
Mhm.
But yeah, when it comes to like other things, relationship advice or what have yous, when someone's like, "Hey, I'm going through these problems, friend problems, whatever the case may be."
Work
Okay, well,
problems.
listen, maybe you should do this. Don't do that.
Yeah.
And they go, okay. But then you talk to them like a week later and like, so how'd it go? And they're like, I did nothing that you said.
Oh.
And it turned into a fucking dumpster fire. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Because I told you what to do to not cause a dumpster fire. And guess what? It turned into a dumpster fire.
It's like a weekly occurrence at work all the time. It's like, I asked you to do something because it makes my job a little easier. But you do your job this way. I'm like telling you exactly how I want it. And then they might do it that way. And then the next time it comes through or whatever, I'm like, what, my dude? Like, I already told you to do this like 3 times. Why are you not doing it this way? You're making my life 10 times more
Yeah. Well, that's
complicated.
even worse when you're like, you're
Like, well, you
making
fixed
my
it the
life
one time.
harder.
I'm like, because I was in a rush to get it done.
Yeah.
So I just fixed it because I know what I'm doing. I just sometimes don't have the time to do it all.
There's
Or
a
I'm like, you're doing your job today. Thank
Mm-hmm.
you.
There's a good quote that I heard a while back that was, "Don't do your best, do my best."
Yeah.
And I find that appropriate, because if you know what you're doing, which I usually do, or anyone, I guess, don't half approximate what you think is the right way. Do it the way you know I would do it, because especially if I've told you how to do it, that's the way.
Yeah.
No, don't like try to
This way
half-ass it or
works.
cut some
Yeah.
corners. Like, do it the right way, man. So
Yeah.
many people want to just cut corners these days and then end up with. That was actually one of my things. It's just stuff that just ends up shitty. The quality is less. I mean, think of like the last time you went anywhere and you got something and you looked at it and you were super disappointed. Like, what the fuck is this shit? It's because someone somewhere didn't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if it was the dumbest thing, you're sweeping the floor. Like, do a good job. Don't make it so that someone comes behind you and goes, "Who the fuck did this? This is terrible."
Or nobody did it.
Why would you?
Yeah,
Why
yeah.
would you be happy with that? But some people are just happy
Especially
with the
something
bare minimum.
so simple.
Yeah.
I mean, I get like, yeah, like if you're in a rush and you're just like, I meant to do all the dishes or clean or whatever. And it's like, somebody behind you is like, hey, what the fuck? You didn't do anything? It's like, well, I was kind of in a rush that day. But I get it. But usually 9 times out of 10, I'm going back to do it as soon as I get home.
Yeah. I mean, when you can.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
should- Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is a thing that used to be a thing back in the day. Like, people had pride in their work and whatever it
Oh, that's
was,
all
and that
gone.
shit is gone now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
for
all like,
sure.
I don't want to do this. I'm too good for this. Like, no, you're not. You're uneducated and you're fucking retarded most of the time. This is the best you're going to do. So at least put some effort in.
Mm-hmm.
But no one just wants to do that anymore. It's all about like instant gratification. How do I be a YouTube star? How do I get
Oh,
likes?
God.
Like, any of that pays for anything. Maybe eventually, but for most people, it's not going to. So maybe focus on the stuff that is like important.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're putting your name on something.
Yep.
It's not important to people anymore, but I feel like it should be.
The
I miss those days.
influencers. Yeah, the influencers are
Oh my God.
bad business.
So I've now found a new hero of mine on TikTok, surprisingly.
Okay, go on.
So, it's this guy. He just plays piano. Like,
oh
like
my God, I know exactly who
the
you're
guy,
talking about.
and then as soon as he starts playing, some like influence girl walks over, wants to start singing, and he just stops playing and walks away. And then it
so-
gets to the curb music.
Yes, it's so good.
He's my new hero.
Yeah.
And I now have a New Year's resolution to like go
Dude.
learn piano just so I can do that to other people.
It's so good. Travi, have you seen these?
No, I don't. I'm not on TikTok. I
No,
I
just
can't
just
take
like
it.
Tommy
Reels or
said, dude.
whatever.
Oh yeah, it's so good. I don't remember the dude's name, but I love every single one of his videos. Like there's like a piano like in the middle of like
A
a
mall
mall
or
food
a
court or
airport.
whatever. Yeah, yeah. And he sits down there and he's just playing a piano version of whatever, either a popular pop song or an opera song, and there's some girl that comes up
with her
and
friend recording it too.
yeah, and then just starts singing, and then he just stops playing and just gets up and walks away, and then he leaves because his phone is there watching the angle of him playing.
Yeah.
So he gets up and walks away, and the phone's like this.
Just leaves it there to catch
so,
it all.
So yeah, he gets up, and the girl goes, "Oh, like what? What the fuck?" Like.
Or
Yeah.
I've seen another one where some girl's like playing clarinet or something like that, want to play along, and he's just like starts changing the song he was playing to fuck with her, and then just stops and walks away. I'm like,
Yeah.
yes, I want to learn piano
Oh
just so
my
I can
God.
do that.
That
Yeah.
is so great.
It's my New Year's resolution.
Just
this
shut
year.
them down. It's not about you. Stop trying to make it about you.
Yeah. I mean, listen, we didn't see any this time, I don't really think, but the last time that me and
Oh
Jazz
God,
and Travi,
a place like Cancun would just be swarmed with them. I
well,
would
we went to
imagine.
that same island again, but we were in the ocean drinking. I mean, we were having a blast, just enjoying the sun, the water, the drinks, the snacks. I mean, fuck, we had a pelican that was like diving like 3 feet from us and fucking picking up fish. And we're like, this is the coolest fucking thing I've ever seen. But at the edge of the water, there's 2 girls that are taking photos of each other and like just, like, oh, look at me, I'm in Mexico. And then like they would leave, be gone for like a half hour. They'd come back out with different bathing suits on and then do the same thing all over
Oh
again.
my God.
Doing the poses and the hair flips and getting the angles. It's like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So we've kind of done a thing the last 2 times that we've been there, like us boys like lay down like in the water
The fuck with
at the
photo
sand.
bombing.
Yeah, at the sand.
Like a bunch of idiots. Yeah.
yeah, just doing stupid poses.
Oh yeah,
and,
you
like,
got to mock them. Yeah.
intertwining legs and all that.
Fuck
Like
yeah.
I think the last time we went, it was probably a better shoot, but this time,
This time we
the-
had waves.
dude, the water was insane. Like it was like throwing us around. Like we're literally like. And the funny thing is, like, there's people sitting in their seats, like
Just watching the whole
5
time.
feet away, just enjoying to be like in their beach.
We're on our
seat.
honeymoon.
Yeah,
or
they're like just like,
our
hey, we're just
anniversary.
here to
yeah.
hang out, enjoy
Valentine's Day
all
weekend,
this.
yeah.
Yeah, and we're literally right in front of them, like trying to be funny and cute with like hands like under the chin and our feet up, like toes touching and
Yeah.
all that. But the waves are fucking throwing us around,
Yeah.
like tossing us, rolling us around, and they're fucking dying laughing. And as like Jess is trying to be that photographer, going, yes,
Come on, boy.
more. Yeah, give me more, give me more. Yeah, yes, no, yes. But like, and then here's is the people laughing. She turns around and is like, so sorry about this. And they go, no, this is fucking hysterical.
making our day.
It's 5 dudes that are getting tossed around by the water, trying to get a pose to be adorable like the influencers.
We're in Cancun. Welcome to Jackass.
Yeah, that's basically what it was.
I just thought of a great idea if I ever got rich enough to own like a resort, like separate it. Like, all right, 20-somethings, 30-somethings, older people. Like, you want you're just separated. There's like, you want to be an influencer? Go to
segregation?
the right side.
Oh yeah.
you want to go just have time to yourself? Cool. You want a little bit of the both? Like, where it's like you're not like totally out of it? Yeah.
You're in the 30s.
The 34
area.
years?
Yeah.
That'd be perfect.
Damn, that's genius, dude.
know, right?
That's good. Copyright.
Copyright.
I like that because it ties into my plane idea, which is you have an adults-only flight, so you have no babies.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Because I had
yeah.
babies on
well, the
almost
problem
every
is some
flight.
adults are babies, though.
Well, at least they're not screaming, crying.
Well,
I mean,
some are.
It's true.
I've seen the Karens getting kicked off.
But
planes
yeah,
and
just
stuff like that.
if
Yeah.
you have a baby, you should not be allowed to be on a flight until
No,
it's like
I'm sorry,
5.
but yeah, unless it's like an emergency situation, don't.
Yeah. You-
I don't care how chill your baby is. It's not
Yeah.
chill.
It's never going to be chill enough to make zero noise.
No.
Trevi, tell us. Like I remember you talking about this. Discuss your idea for this. If you were to own an air flight, like an air.
Well, I just give the option that if you can get a flight that is just adult only, so you don't have to deal with kids, bad parenting because they go hand in hand. The kid might be
Yeah.
a perfectly normal kid in certain circumstances, but bad parenting. I had one where the kid was just kept bumping into my legs. It was laying in the aisles or trying to get off, and the mother just kept saying, "Don't do that, don't do that. You're gonna have to go sit with your father." None of this made an impact on the kid. It just kept doing it. It's running into me and like, I'm gonna step on you. Like, stop. So it's bad parenting on top of children and then babies. Babies don't know how to adapt to flying. All it is just pain in my ears, and so you're just stuck with someone's crying ass kid. One lady changed her kid's diaper in their seat
Ugh.
behind me, and I looked over and started putting it into the diaper bag, and everyone around me was looking around, going, "Oh, because it was just baby shit."
Dude, you're stuck on a
fuck?
fucking tin can
Yeah.
in the air. You're stuck for what, maybe 4 hours?
Give me the
or
adults
longer?
flight only.
Yeah.
Where there's no screaming kids. Put all them on one. They can all be together, listen to each other's stupid fuck trophies.
You even go back to your whole thing with what do you call it? The extra flights or whatever. I'm blanking on the name now. Right? When you get
Go on.
when you're on one flight and jumping onto another one.
Connecting flights.
Connecting flights. Thank you. I'm totally blanked on the name. Yeah, but like have a section just for connecting flight people, like up in front, like
Oh,
the
yeah.
first 3 rows, because it's not like you're VIP because you're sitting in front, unless it's like a first class flight. You know?
Yeah,
Sure.
I mean they do have the thing now.
But
where
like
they
you would
charge
always like
extra,
knock
but
off the
yeah.
first 2-3 rows for the people who are, connecting
Yeah.
flights.
You have the
Yeah.
technology to just have it auto sort you into those so that you're
Yeah.
closer and you can get off sooner. I would be fine with that.
Yeah.
If I don't have anywhere to go, I don't care. I'm going to sit in my seat for an extra 5 minutes. I got my headphones in anyways. I'm waiting until it's my turn to go. I don't,
Yeah, but like you said, you're like
Yeah.
your last one. You're like, I'm in such a rush. I have
Yeah.
very little time because my last 2 flights got canceled. Or
Exactly. And
whatever.
if I
So-
had somewhere I had to be that was like super important, a funeral, a wedding, where if like missing a flight really, really fucks you,
Yeah.
I would super appreciate the ability to get
right,
in and out very quickly.
Yeah.
And me as a person, if not being in that situation, I also wouldn't have a complaint about letting them do that.
no,
Like, I'm not so selfish to have to be like, well, I have to be up first. No, go, you do you, man. I got nowhere to be that 10 minutes is going to kill me.
yeah. Well, I mean, like you have the option.
Yeah.
You click on it. Maybe you pay an extra $10 or something like that. You know what I mean? Like that'd be worth the while.
Yeah.
Copyright.
But before we get off of it, so when you were talking about influencers, this isn't really influencing, but this one super annoys me is people that go to concerts and just hold their phone up and watch
Oh
the
my
concert through their
God.
phone screen so they can get a
Yes.
shitty, blown out, terrible quality video of a memory when you could have made the memory yourself. So now me stuck behind you, I got to try and look around a bunch of your shitty ass screens so I can enjoy myself. It's so fucking infuriating.
Agreed. So here's the thing. I'm slightly guilty of it, but it's only because I have friends that weren't able to make the show and their favorite song is playing. So I will do like 30 seconds probably during the chorus where the catchy shit's going on, and then I'll send that snap to them.
How dare you?
Yeah, but that's it though. Like it's one time, 30 seconds.
Yeah.
That's it. Like I'm that song because I get because like listen, I'm only 5'7", so I have to deal with a lot of those people. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm watching the show. Oh, actually, I can kind of watch the show through your phone also, I guess.
A bunch of tiny TVs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like slightly guilty with that. It's like certain songs. It's like something rare is happening. Like the 2 bands are playing together, or it's like,
Yeah.
all right, it's my favorite song, but they do an acoustic version of it. Like that is not on any record. Okay, sure, but like, and then I've gotten yelled at for also doing it. Like a couple years ago, I went to see Dropkick Murphys
Mhm.
and end up on stage like the last song and just bum rush the stage. Everybody else does, and I'm up on the drum riser next to the drummer, next to the guitar player, next to the singer, and I'm just like, fuck it, I'm taking selfies. And the guy's like, there's a big sign that says like no phones. I'm like, I don't care. I'm like, I'm not ever this close to the band.
Yeah.
So like it's a one-time thing. I'm good.
You already got the photo. Fuck it.
Yeah. I'm like, and I'm putting it away. Thank you.
Yep. Let me snap these quick photos and then I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean you're right.
I get it every once in a while, but it's the people that pull it out. Just they almost want to record the entire thing. It's not just once in a while. It's like, ugh, God damn it. Ruins it for the people around you, and you're also ruining it for yourself because your memory now is of watching your phone and not watching the thing. So,
Mhm. And also when you listen back at it, it just sounds distorted and shitty.
yeah.
You know, like, and again, like Tomboy says, like, unless it's like an acoustic set or like you have some bands that have like a very like epic like intro before they play their first song, you know, it's like, this is actually kind of sick.
Yeah.
And my friend that loves this band couldn't make it because they had to work or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
Like, they would love to see this. you
There's
know,
probably
like-
some bands where it's more acceptable. Like I would think maybe like a Gwar concert because there's just shit everywhere, and it's probably different every time or somewhat different.
Mhm.
That one I wouldn't be as bothered by because there's a lot to look at, and
But
like,
also,
I kind of
like,
get it.
Or
But
or
mean,
you're
it's-
sitting in the back, and it's like, cool. I'm like all the way towards the back. I don't. Yeah.
yeah, like that is. But it's yeah.
I've been on the upper deck of one of those situations. I went to go see Every Time I Die,
Mhm.
and I had no idea Guar was even playing until I was on my way to the show. I had no idea. And then so like me and my buddy, like we sat like on the top deck of like House of Blues,
Mhm.
and we're down there like, oh sick, dude, like Guar's playing. And then like we went down into the crowd for Every Time I Die, and then when Guar played, we're like, we do not want to be caught in that
Yeah.
splash zone.
I'll be covered in cum.
Right. So we went up to the top row, and I was like taking like videos, but like I'm not fucking bothering anybody's like vision at that point, but like just to watch them spray blood out of the giant cock out of the
Yeah.
fucking lead singer, a splash zone, everybody.
The Gallagher of metal music.
Yeah, basically, yeah. How do you feel about people that talk at you, Travis?
Explain that a little bit
So
more.
like or even Tomboy. So like someone's like when you start like talking about you like let's say like you mentioned like a story, you're like, oh man, this one thing happened to me, and then someone jumps in who you're talking to, and then they're just talking like at you. They're telling a whole fucking story, and then when they pause for a second, you're like, dude, this same fucking thing happened to me when I was
I'm
on
not
this
finished.
airplane flight. You know, like I had to go through this and blah blah blah, and they just go, yeah, and then just continue
Right
on
back to
and
their
just
thing?
go right back
Yeah.
to like did not give a fuck about or even listened to what you just said.
It's super annoying.
Yeah.
It's another one of those entitlements of just like I'm really just talking because I care about me and not about you.
I have to tell that story to everybody. Yeah.
Yeah. It's super. Or the
Is it entitlement
or along those lines
or
is-
autism or
Well,
both?
along those lines is also the one upper. You read one of those where you're talking to you're just happy that something happened to you, and the other guy's got to come along and be like, "Well, I did that too, but mine was totally better because
Oh
of
my
such and
God.
such." It's like,
I
well, all right,
I
I'm done
try to
talking
catch
you now.
myself with that because sometimes I will bounce off like you told a story. Oh wait, I have a similar story. So it's not trying to be a one. I have to try to like, am I one upper? No. All right, cool. Back it off a little bit. Yeah.
Same thing. I've also been like, your story is really dope. I have one that's actually slightly cooler than yours, but like as I'm telling it, I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna be this one upper. But I'm like I'm not that person all the time, so I feel
Yeah.
like it's okay. Until I mean, I have friends that one up everything.
It's literally some people.
Everything.
There's literally everything to where it's just like you don't really. First of all, you didn't give a shit about anything I said. You didn't show any interest at all. The least you could do is be like, "Oh, that's pretty cool. That reminds me of something similar that happened." Like that's fine because that's
Or
a
tie it back to your
conversation.
story, so,
Not
like-
not be like the very obvious. Not only was I not listening to you and I don't care about what you said, but also I think I'm better because of such and such, and that makes me cooler because mine was so much more epic. That's the sense I always get from those kind of people.
Mm-hmm.
Not having just like a back and forth where you can both compare and go like, "Oh, damn, yours was crazy too." You know, it's like I'm obviously cooler. Or I'm like more epic, man. Or like, because mine was like super intense. I went to jail in mine. Like, all right, man, fuck off.
Do you think those people, like, their lives just suck that bad that they live for telling these made-up stories or maybe true stories,
Yeah.
just so they have something
Yeah, I think
for
it's
people
some
to
kind
get a
of
reaction out of people?
some kind of a deficiency where they can't just be like everyone else, where you can enjoy. I think it is a selfishness because you can enjoy someone else's story and be happy for them, and that takes like some empathy and being able to understand those around you. I think these people are just very consumed with themselves, and maybe that's just how they feel important or loved, or they just need to have someone think they're super awesome, and so this is their way. I've never really analyzed it, but it's got to be something. It's an abnormality for sure because you're lacking so many things to get to that point, like just the ability to be, in the same situation with someone and be empathetic to what's happened to them and
Like a normal conversation.
and just happy for just generally be happy for someone. Like I don't know if those kind of people could go to a birthday party that wasn't theirs and be genuinely happy for the person whose birthday it is. I feel like they would probably still have to find some way to make it about them. It's a weird thing.
Where do you think this roots from?
I don't know, man. I mean, there's so many possibilities. bad childhood or
Yeah.
like like a self-esteem issue to where like this is my way of making myself feel good and they don't
I
know that
also-
they're doing this. I don't know. There's too many possibilities.
Also think it is like I didn't have enough friends or wasn't cool enough growing up and they had those self-esteem issues. So now it's like, well, I do have a lot of friends now because like the friends I hang out with are actually like everyone's really cool, like because we're adults and we're not going like, oh, you peed your pants in 4th grade. I'm not going to be your friend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like
You're
everyone's
past the
way-
bullying, so it's
Right.
just like we're adults
everyone's
now.
just like cool. You know, like everyone shits their pants, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
we're
it
we're
could
past
be-
it.
It could be they never matured. It could be like a narcissism kind of thing where
I mean,
it's
there's a lot of those too. Yeah.
lots of potentials there.
Yeah, I was gonna say like a one-upper might be with a family that's competitive for like
Mm-hmm.
the
Oh,
parents' love of,
especially
especially with
that.
siblings and stuff like
Oh,
you're just trying to fight
yeah.
for mom and
Yeah.
dad's attention. Yeah,
Interesting.
Maybe that's
also-
when they got some sort of like reward for that, and they just kind of learned that like I get the best response from this kind of behavior.
Yeah.
There's so many possibilities. Who knows? It's just annoying as fuck.
It's always
You
fun to
just wanna
catch
be
you on
like, dude, enough. We're all just trying to have a good time. You don't have to constantly be. It almost because it makes the other people feel like feel kind of shitty sometimes too. Like this guy's not listening, and he's kind of dominating the conversation, and it comes with all of that too. So you're not just affecting yourself; you're affecting like those around you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and everyone's just like, cool.
Yeah. I'm gonna
Can't
go
wait
over
to hang
here.
out with this guy again.
Yeah.
it is always fun to catch a one-upper and a lie.
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
oh,
where
it
they're
is.
lying to you.
Yeah, oh,
and,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
and
yeah.
you know the truth. It's
Where you
like,
start asking details,
or
and you start
you know the
stumbling,
truth, and it's like that never happened. What the fuck are you talking about?
like you were there. For
Yeah,
that
like somebody's
situation,
you're
yeah.
telling a story, and
Like,
it's like,
no,
dude,
no,
you
I
weren't
was there. That didn't
Yeah,
happen.
That never
Yeah.
happened.
Oh no, it is good though. Especially like if you're just like, like you're going like asking for details, and they're like, what? Yeah,
But that's
like,
not
So that's yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's so good.
Yeah, I mean, when someone tells me a story, even if I'm not super interested, I try to take some interest in it and ask
Yeah.
maybe some questions and stuff because I know that's like that makes that person feel good to know
Right.
that like someone's listening and they care, even if I don't care
common
that
courtesy.
much. Yeah, it's just
Even
it's
though
the
they're
way
not
you
doing it to anybody else.
Yeah, it's just the way you treat people to kind of like be a good person. I feel like, but
Yeah.
these people I don't think make that connection.
Mhm.
That not to be unfair, but I felt like Paul from the trip was a little bit like that because he seemed to really
Agreed.
dominate the
Agreed.
conversation a lot, and you couldn't really get a word in because he would just keep going. But it got to the point where I was just like, I don't want to engage this guy because it's going to be 25 minutes of him telling me about the thing. He was a perfectly nice guy.
Yeah, he
and
was a solid dude.
he did ask questions and seem interested in some of your stuff, but he was just very dominating in the conversation. A little bit with like my stuff's cooler than yours. Maybe that was just first meeting kind of thing or whatever, but it did get me a little to where I was like, all right, I'm just gonna kind of be over here because yeah, I know
get
that
it.
if I'm anywhere near him, he's gonna engage me, and I'm going to be on you now. For the next-
He's a very solid dude, and I mean, like, I do understand like where you're coming from. Like, there was some conversations that I do know what you're talking about, but I mean, like, at the same time, I mean, like, everyone's
yeah.
drinking like all day long, so who knows?
Yeah.
you know.
That's why I was trying not to judge too hard because it also like my first time meeting. Well, not first time, but like first time really interacting, other than brief moment. This first time being around this person for a long time, so
Yeah.
there could be some of that. Who knows?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just try to judge people on like the second or third time. Then I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
you're
no,
just that
listen-
person. Okay.
Yeah, and here's the thing: is like they were a solid couple. Like Paul and Sarah were a great couple, and I can see them actually like kind of traveling around with us, you know, and future events. They're a great fucking couple.
Mhm.
They're a lot of fun. I do see that there was some times that he kind of did dominate some
Yeah.
conversations. But I mean, like, and again, it's like I don't know. Sometimes it's like
Could just be excitement to like tell you the story
that's
too, and maybe
exactly
I'm
we're
misreading
new
it.
friends.
So it's, so
yeah,
it's
we're
like,
yeah.
that's why I don't want to judge too hard. but-
Right.
Yeah.
Like we're like I just met you like for this weekend,
Yeah.
like so you don't know any of the stories I've told a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm sure like we all get that way. You know what I mean? So like,
Mhm.
but I understand where you're coming from.
I've been to plenty of that with like being like bachelor parties and stuff like that. Just meeting like friends of friends. Like I don't know who you are, but oh okay. But the second or third time, I'm like, oh, we're best friends. Okay. But the first time it's like, dude, I
Yeah.
don't like you. I never liked you the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think
I've
like,
had that too.
You rubbed me the wrong
agreed.
way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
agreed. Oh, yeah, I've had that with plenty of friends.
Some people that you take a little bit to warm up to them. You have to kind of
Yeah.
understand the quirks, but just seeing it initially, you kind of go like, "Oh, what the fuck?"
Oh,
You know?
yeah, I was a little drunk that first time. Okay.
Yeah, but it's also funny, like when you're trying to explain that to people meeting them for the first time.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
and
you're
like,
oh no, he's great. I don't know, understand what you're talking about.
no, there's definitely some friends that I have that like when I first met them, I was like, what the fuck is going on with this dude? Like, this dude's fucking way too much. Not like, I don't like this dude.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, like the next time I run into him, he's like, oh, dude, sorry. Like, I was on fucking shrooms. Like, all day. I was like, okay, all right, fine. And then, of course, then like that night, he's also super fucked up. And then, but like, I actually hang out with him like on a sober note before we start drinking. I'm like, oh, you're actually like smart as fuck. Like, you can have a real conversation, you know, like, but it's like when you try to introduce that person to other people, to your other friends, you go, no, this dude's solid. But then they get the same first
Yeah.
experiences that you do.
Not a good
But-
first impression guy.
Yeah, but if they're not as accepting as you are, they're like, fuck that dude. They're like, that guy's fucking weird, man. Especially if he was on shrooms again or whatever, right? And they're like, that guy was just fucking acting weird. And like, fuck. Like, just left a really bad first impression. Like, fuck that dude. And you're like,
Yeah.
Some people
Damn.
just aren't good at first impressions either, right? They're
That's
either
true.
a little too weird or they don't know how to like just kind of play it a little more gentle to people that you don't know. They come off the wrong way, but then later, like you're saying, once you get to know them, you can kind of see past. Some people just have that where they're just not. They don't have the good first impression because they're
Yeah.
just a little too intense or whatever. You know, it could be off-putting to people.
100%. Trevi, you said something earlier right before we started the episode. You're like, something happened recently.
Oh,
And you're like, I wanted to put this into my notes.
well, one of the other things that really just annoys the shit out of me is people when they drive.
Oh, okay.
And
Go
the
on.
other day I was driving back and it was at like 5:45, 6 o'clock, right? So right, tail end of rush hour, but over in the Brook Park area is there's the side streets and stuff get real busy. And there was an accident on the freeway, so I wanted to take side streets down one exit so I could avoid that. 'Cause if I got on my normal exit, I would be in the snarl. So like, I'm just going to avoid this. And it was already backed up and stuff because that's just how it gets around there. And there was a guy that wanted to make a right turn, but he was in the left lane of a 2-lane road. And instead of just understanding that he fucked up and he wasn't going to make that turn, because he was maybe, I don't know, 75 feet or something from the corner, like close enough that he realized like I got to get over, but not enough time to make a proper merge. He just stopped in his lane and put his blinker on and fucked everyone in his lane up. Now, granted, this is, the lights are going fast. It's rush hour, so not that many cars are getting through. It's backed up. This dickhead just decides, I'm just going to sit here until someone lets me in. What you should do is realize, hey, I fucked up. It's going to take an extra 2 minutes if I just go down, turn the block, and loop
Turn
around.
around.
That's what I do when I'm not going to fuck someone else's shit up. It's
Yeah.
just a loop around.
Yeah, I was
dude.
just saying, we live in Cleveland.
Everything's
is
a square.
Squares, yeah.
Yep.
You can
Fuck's
easily just
sakes.
turn around.
But there's these people that just it's the same theme. It's like no common sense, selfishness, and like I'm more important than you or whatever it is. Like, so he just sat there. So not only did he fuck my lane up, he fucked up this other lane of people that couldn't get through the light because he just sat there for an entire light until someone let him in. Like, come on, man. Same thing with merging on the highway. You all get over, and then some dude has to rush way up to get to the front. Like, that's so irritating.
Dude,
I almost wish for the apocalypse to where like I could put those police bars on the front of my car and I can just ram people off the road when they get in my way.
I always joke Cohen didn't take it out on enough people. Like, I could have taken out a
dude,
few more people.
oh my God.
Or like rockets
Life-
on my car or something,
Life would be cooler. Vacations would be cooler
Oh
if
my
we
God.
had less people,
Oh,
yeah.
like less population.
I know
for
China's all
sure.
fucked up for that, but like, they might be right. But like,
We've
one
all
kid.
thought it.
Dude, I just came across. It was just what's today? All right, so Monday. It was last week on like Thursday or Friday, and I'm driving home from work, and I get to the area like right where like the highway is, and there's one light before you hit the light where the highway is, and there is a left only lane, and there's 2 straight lanes, right, middle and right.
Mhm.
This guy, he's caught up in like the left lane. Okay, and there's a fucking like a big box truck and like in the front of it, like at the light.
Yeah.
He's caught behind it. and I'm like at the front of the middle lane waiting for the light to change. Well, the left arrow light shows up, right? And the box truck changes off. This motherfucker cuts across and just goes right in front of me, almost in like the middle of the lane, like almost like fucking up traffic.
So he can be first.
Yeah. Yeah,
What the fuck?
because he's like, I need to go straight. I didn't know that this was a left-only lane, essentially.
Yeah.
So he just starts cutting in front of me, and I'm like slamming my horn, like, what the fuck, dude?
If you're gonna do that, like, I mean, I'll give some people the benefit of the doubt, like, hey, maybe you're driving in an area you don't know or whatever, but still, like, I at least try to get the people's attention that I'm like, can I cut for you? And if I don't get that, I'm like, all right, then I will go all the way around and no big deal.
Yeah.
Make the
And
left.
listen-
Yeah,
Make
at least-
a right.
or
and
it's
then
like I
you're
wait
back.
wait for the wave, you know. But it irritates the shit out of me, especially coming here.
Yeah.
Because I come from like the Brook Park area too, so like 150th is all backed up. And,
Yeah.
it's all one lane,
Yeah.
so nobody knows it and gets over. It's like
Oh yeah. So they all
you
drive
wait one
down
person
and-
and 3 people try to cut in front of you. I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
I was got one person at a time, like you're supposed to.
Yep.
And I know, and before anyone makes a comment about zipper merging is so much more efficient, I know what a zipper merge is. Nobody does it. We all just get in one line. That's just how it works here.
Yeah,
If
you
we
just wait your turn.
if it went one, then one, then one, then one, sure, but that's not how it works. There's always the guy that's got to try and get in ahead of everyone else.
Or
'cause
they,
he's more
they
important.
book it all the way, like you know they're gonna cut in front of you.
Oh, yeah,
Even though, like,
yeah.
all right, you booked it all the way down the road. There's still like a line.
There's
of
nothing
traffic.
more satisfying.
We're all way back there.
Listen,
not
I
letting
am
that guy
guilty
in.
of that though. Jess hates it. Like if there's like 2 lanes, and I'm like, okay, so the left lane has like
Closes eventually.
has
yeah.
like 40 cars. The right lane has 10,
Mhm.
but we have like a mile to go, 2 miles up the road before I have to get over into the left lane. I will cut into that right lane and just fucking zoom past like 20, 30 cars.
And then cut back in.
and then as soon as there's an opening, I'm like, I'm in. Like I'm not the asshole where I'm like, I'm just gonna scooch my way in here slowly until one of you guys are like, well, I can't do anything. I don't do that. But if I find an opening, that I cut in.
I
But
thought
Jess is like, what the fuck? Just stay in this lane. I'm like, this is Cleveland, baby. You gotta drive aggressive.
like
She's from Connecticut, so
where when they started doing like the double lane drive-throughs, I'm like, oh, this is so much easier. No, it's way worse because it's like
It's
everybody's
still
trying
just
to
one person on each
everybody's
line.
trying to get back to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like lane. I'm like, please don't give me the wrong order because you're thinking like I'm the wrong person.
yeah.
It's so fucked up.
It's great when when you are in one of those situations. It's usually like on a highway, at least the ones I've seen, and there's construction, right? And so it's narrowing down to one. So you'll have semis, and it's great when those guys will sit half in between each lane,
Yeah.
because they're tired of those guys coming through too.
Oh yeah.
Nothing more satisfying than watching someone try and scoot by, and the truck does the little weave out and
Yeah,
blocks
yeah.
him.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's fucking
Agreed.
great.
Oh yeah. Like fuck
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Look, we're all waiting. It's
Yeah.
just get in line
Don't
and wait like the rest of
squeeze
us.
Rush hour
your way
sucks.
in there.
Construction sucks.
If you have an opening, go for it, but don't fucking squeeze your way in.
Yeah. We get it. Everybody's in a rush.
Yep.
But fuck you.
Super fucking irritating. That people that drive in the left lane too slow, that just cannot understand that it's either the fast lane or the passing lane, combination, whatever. Don't just sit there. I just drove down to my mom's to pick up my dogs, so an hour there, hour back. There's always 2 or 3 dickheads that just sit in the left lane, going the exact same speed as the right lane. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And then don't get pissed at me because I'm on your ass. That means move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get out of the
Fuck it,
way.
Yeah. Get over in the middle lane. Agreed.
Move, bitch. Get out the way.
All right, boys. Well, I think that's about it.
Yeah. We've aired our grievances.
Yeah, I think so.
Is it time for the feats of strength?
You feel better, Travis?
Yeah, a little bit. It'll build back up by tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay. If you still have more stories, we'll bring it back on. And listen, we can have another old man complaint between the 3 of us.
But these 49 things have happened me this week. We'll make a new segment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Well, guys, thanks for listening. Listen, I'm sure you guys have all had to deal with the flying bullshit, the driving bullshit. Shoot us a text, leave us a voicemail, tell us your experiences, and we'll listen and we'll talk about it.
Hell yeah.
440-363.
0121.
Nice. Everybody that's overseas, we see you over there. Shoot us an email. Tell us your experiences. pizzabagels.pod@gmail.com. As always, it's at pizzabagels.pod on all the social medias, all the listing contents, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music. Like, share, subscribe. Tell your friends. Tell your
grandma.
mom. Tell your grandma. Tell your neighbors. All that.
Yeah.
Is there anything else left here, boys?
Nope.
440-363.
0121.
Nice. Thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you next week.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.